It's a
Well,
busy
after you.
place. Thank you.
So cheers.
Cheers. Let there
And
be coffee.
I guess we gotta pace ourselves here. So how do you like your coffee?
I like it light, no sugar.
It's
A lot of
okay.
flavor, not too
Yeah,
sweet.
more of a just straight black coffee.
Straight black
and,
coffee?
It's I think we gotta go right.
I think we're going right.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. So listen, 2019 was a big year. How do we keep the momentum going?
There's so much to do. I mean, 2019 was the launch of clinical trials to modify the course of the disease. And that is not an end. That's a beginning to all the work we have to do to prepare folks for what could be a new day in clinical therapy.
We see it every day on social media, and but there's nothing bigger than convention. Last year, largest convention ever. In your hometown of Boston, and
Yay.
This year we're heading down to New Orleans. And what do you think the family's going to be looking forward to? Early June.
Well, they should be eager for more information about the clinical drugs that are in development, looking for updates on clinical trials, what's already underway, what's coming. But also, 50% of our convention attendees every year are first-timers. So for them, it's the first time that they're meeting other families who know what HD and HD life looks like. So we have a responsibility to help them connect to the information and the relationships that will make their lives a little bit easier. Make sure they meet the social workers and the doctors and attend the sessions and connect with a community that's there to help them.
What is your favorite part of convention?
Oh man, all of the hugs. It's just seeing people that I talk to throughout the year, the joy on people's faces at the reception. It's a powerful thing. And I love that we're able to provide the inspiration and support. So by the time the gala comes along on Saturday night, everyone's relaxed and feels a little more at peace with where they are.
I think that, I'll never forget my first convention. Mine was in Louisville. When I tell you, the opportunity to meet the families and hear all their stories, it really reminds you, why you're doing what you're doing every day.
Yeah.
And I think when you're in the office and you're on the email and you're you feel that a little bit of disconnect, but convention is when it really it hits home on why we're doing what we're doing, and the families are going through so much back home with everything they're dealing with, and to have everybody come together. It's always been referred to as this big family reunion, right? And I feel like every year it's getting bigger and bigger, and families just love being around each other, because what I've learned is that not too many families, when they are back home in their communities, they don't have someone close to them that understands Huntington's disease.
Right.
We have families that come in from Alaska and from wherever, and this is the first time they've ever met another family with Huntington's disease, and to create that kind of community, that family atmosphere. I think that's the thing that hits me the most, and just seeing how the families interact with one another, and it really is beautiful.
Well, I think, something that you just said, for us, Huntington's disease is every day. Every day there's something that reminds me about the importance of what we're doing. A new family who's never had HD in their family that reaches out. A family who's struggling with the final stages of the disease. All of these things that, every day we're surrounded by it. But if you're in a more remote place, you may, HD is really rare, and you may not have anyone to connect to. And I think that's one of the things that that the annual convention does when we bring everyone together is really remind everybody that it's rare and how valuable it is to be able to connect folks. So convention's special. Yeah. I think the society and what we do is special. The vision of Marjorie to create help and hope. And then how we're able to keep that alive takes a lot of work, and we're working hard to do it.
So when folks do give money, I think it's important that everyone always wants to know, where's the money going?
Yeah.
What are we doing with it? And, as much of, the messaging that goes out, to support families, to improve the lives of families affected by Huntington's disease, it's one of our goals. It's one of our jobs to let people know these resources do exist, the online support groups.
Right.
And the HD Trial Finder. We've got incredible social workers across the country. I feel like in any nonprofit organization, people are always going to wonder, where is that money going to? And I think the thing that I've seen just in my time at HDSA, how much the organization has grown, and getting that number, that 80-20 split, and
Yeah.
How important that is, from just an operation standpoint.
So transparency is incredibly important to nonprofit organizations. It's something that I hold dear. I'm responsible to every single person who has ever given a penny to HDSA, and I take that very seriously. And that means making sure that we're using those pennies to have the greatest impact. So right now, 78 cents of every dollar is going into a mission-focused program. So that's community services, it's education, it's advocacy, it's awareness, and it's research. Those are the things that are improving lives and directly serving our mission. There's still some overhead. We're well within the Better Business Bureau recommendations of 70-30, so we're doing better, and we have a goal of 80-20 because we want as much as possible going back into our mission work. But this is the challenge of how do we have resources that can touch every family, make an impact, create help today, and make sure that the hope that's coming is here faster.
Yeah.
So,
what's your message to the HD community?
we're a family. And sometimes it sounds silly or contrived to say that, but families love one another and support one another. Sometimes they fight and disagree. They have different priorities. Sometimes they all show up at a Christmas gathering, and other times folks need to take a break. And I think that's the beautiful thing about the family that is the HD community, is that everyone has their own journey, but together we're able to accomplish so much more and create a legacy for future generations. And I think that's something really beautiful and really alive at HDSA, and something I'm proud of.
Awesome. Great job, Louise. That was nice.
Thanks,
That was
Chris.
sweet. That was sweet.
I have a request.
Yeah.
Next time we order mugs, can we make sure that the words are on the side?
Yeah,
so
well,
that
I was holding it down
lefties-
here.
I
But I guess
know.
this would be,
I
yeah, we
know.
could do that.
But
We could do
otherwise,
that.
this was
Otherwise,
fun.
this was great. This was great. It was our first episode of HDSA's Coffee Walk.
Yep.
And until next time, Louise, it was a pleasure.
Cheers. Let's do this
Let's
again.
do it again. Was that all right? How was that?
That was ridiculous.
Was that corny?
Oh no, you like walking like that.
Did I shuffle?